In 1898, Harold Greenwood, a Yorkshire solicitor, made a significant move with his family to Wales, settling in Kidwelly, Carmarthenshire. His wife, Mabel, and their 4 children lived a comfortable life, supported by domestic staff. Unfortunately, Mabel's health was not robust, and on June 16, 1919, she complained of stomach pains after consuming a gooseberry pie for lunch, stating that it always disagreed with her. In an attempt to alleviate her discomfort, Greenwood offered her brandy, but it only led to her vomiting. Dr. Griffiths was called to the scene and provided medication, yet by the early hours of the next day, Mabel passed away. The certified cause was attributed to heart disease by Dr. Griffiths. After a few months of Mabel's funeral, much to the surprise and gossip of the local community, Greenwood married Gladys Jones, a much younger woman. As Mabel had been an active and well-liked member of the community, rumors began circulating, and the gossip reached such a level that the police suggested exhuming Mabel's body for forensic examination. Upon learning of this proposal, Greenwood curiously replied, "Just the very thing, I am quite agreeable." Subsequently, Mabel Greenwood's remains underwent examination, revealing the presence of 0.25 to 0.5 grains of arsenic, but no evidence of heart disease. Consequently, an inquest was convened in June 1920, during which the jury unanimously concluded that Mabel had been murdered by arsenical poisoning, administered by none other than Harold Greenwood himself. The jury had been informed that Greenwood had purchased weed killer containing arsenic. Upon hearing the verdict, Greenwood's response was a simple, "Oh dear." He was taken into custody on June 17, 1920 for further investigation. The trial of Greenwood commenced on November 2, 1920, at Carmarthen Assizes with Mr. Justice Shearman presiding. The prosecution was led by Sir Edward Marley Sampson, while the defence was handled by Sir Edward Marshall Hall, despite his own ill health and uncertainties raised by others. Hall, however, had faith in Greenwood's innocence and confidently asserted, "The man's innocent, and I'll get him off, you'll see." Central to Hall's defense strategy was challenging the reliability of both the forensic evidence and the testimony of a parlourmaid. Regarding the forensic aspect, Hall highlighted that Dr. Griffiths himself had administered medication, bismuth and morphine, to Mabel Greenwood, which could independently account for her death, notwithstanding Griffiths' inconsistent statements about the drugs used. Hall skillfully exploited this discrepancy to his advantage. Concerning Hannah Williams, the maid, Hall successfully demonstrated that her testimony had been unduly influenced by a police officer who had interviewed her after a considerable time had passed since the death, leading to multiple changes in her account. Opening his defense, Hall aptly quoted from Othello, suggesting that the entire case arose from local gossip. He called Greenwood as a witness in his own defense, and despite enduring lengthy cross-examination, Greenwood vehemently denied any involvement in his wife's demise. The defense's final witness, Irene Greenwood, the accused's 22-year-old daughter, testified that she had also consumed from the wine bottle alleged by the prosecution to be the source of the poison that killed Mabel, without any adverse effects. The judge, in his summing up, referenced this testimony and remarked, "If she also drank from the bottle, there is an end of the case." In the end, Greenwood was acquitted, and the jury added an additional statement, not made public at the time, to their verdict, expressing that they were convinced a dangerous dose of arsenic had been administered to Mabel Greenwood, but they could not determine the immediate cause of death or the person responsible for administering the poison. Following the trial, Greenwood, along with his second wife, relocated to Sellac near Ross-on-Wye, Herefordshire, where he adopted the name Pilkington and lived a quiet and uneventful life until his passing in 1929.